Hello student, I hope everybody is fine and you all are looking into the various presentations and links sent to you in the class group. So today we will begin the topic called transportation of materials in plants. So you please take out your respective notes copies as well as textbook and stationery material with the things required for the lesson, and take out your page number 108 and 109 in your textbook. So get ready with all these things. So we begin the class. Okay. Now you know that as the topic states, the word is transportation of materials in plants. So as plants require these materials at their respective site for their life processes, so the headache for them is how to transport the materials. So for transporting of materials in plants, they have two main tissues, though we have read about them in last year, called vascular tissues, and they are xylem and phloem. These names are known to you. And with these two tissues, the water and minerals as well as the food prepared by the plant is transported. So first we take up the transportation of water and minerals, and then we talk about the transportation of food. So for transportation of mineral and water, it is basically done by xylem, and the transportation for the food that we'll take afterwards, which are synthesized in the leaves and the hormones, are done by the phloem. So as far as xylem is concerned, we have read last time also, they have four kind of cells, and these cells are known to you. If not known, then write them properly. First is tracheids, then is vessels, and write them properly in the notes copies also. Then is xylem parenchyma and xylem fibers. Okay. So the cells are tracheids, vessels, xylem parenchyma, and the xylem fibers. So these four elements will play the role, but basically we talk about tracheids and vessels in this topic that we're going to take up now. So now you should know that we are talking about only xylem. Okay. Now let's begin with this. So as you know, these transportation require certain mechanism. So in this topic we have some terms or word that you will be quite familiar or should be familiar with. Number one is transpirational pull. Transpirational pull. So this is the force by which the things will be moved up. Number two will be osmotic. Write it down properly, okay? Osmotic potential difference. Number next will be ascent of sap. Number four will be diffusion gradient. So these are some new terms you should be familiar with. If not, then write them in proper way. Then after writing diffusion gradient, we have the next term as root pressure theory. Okay. And then the sixth term probably you should write is cohesion. This is the new word for you all. Cohesion tension theory, okay? Cohesion tension theory. So with these 6 mechanisms, we are going to read about the transportation and the word called translocation, that I will take it afterward, in this whole plant transportation mechanism. Okay, so first is the topic called transportation of water and minerals. Underline it and the topic transportation of water and minerals. So this transportation of water minerals will be studied under 3 subheadings. So write down these headings. Number 1, absorption of water and mineral. Number 2, the term I have just told you, ascent of sap. And number 3 is transpiration. Okay, transpiration. So with these 3 terms, we will study about the transportation of water minerals. So the main water absorbing organ in these plants are the root hairs, okay? The absorbing organ called root hairs, and mineral absorbing organ. This is the water absorbing organ, and for mineral absorbing organs are the root epidermal cells. So root epidermal cells. So write it down separately. Water is for absorbed by root hairs, while minerals will be absorbed by the epidermal cells of the root. And this water, which is absorbed by this root hair by the process called potential difference that I have just written down earlier, and the potential difference created will absorb the water, and these molecules move from higher water potential, they move from higher potential difference to lower potential difference. Okay, this is the way the water molecule move in these xylem cells. And basically the cells I have told you are vessels and tracheids. Vessels and tracheids. So write these 2 terms, tracheids and vessels are the main parts through which these things will be moved. And they move, these things, water and minerals, will move in only one direction, that is, they move upward. Okay, so this will be cleared further when the topic proceed further. They move upward, and by the process called ascent of sap. Okay, ascent of sap. So this word sap means water and minerals together. So water and minerals together as they move against gravity, hence the word ascent, and referred as ascent of sap. And for this topic of ascent of sap, I am writing something in short, so just take it up. Ascent of sap. We have the 2 main theories for it. So one is root pressure theory, RPT, we call them in short. Then is transpiration pull and cohesion tension theory. Okay, cohesion tension theory. So with these 3 forces, or you can say process, the sap will be moved up against the gravity. So in this case, for the root pressure theory, there is no need to go in too detail about it. Only you should know some part of it. So, root pressure theory, the root absorb water, so root absorb water and exert pressure, which pushes the water upward. Okay, only write these simple terms. So, in this what happened is that root absorbed water and pushes the water upward, and hence it moves. While for the second component called the transpiration pull and cohesion tension theory, transpiration pull and cohesion tension theory, it is for the tall trees. You know, the trees normally they are very tall, so again the water column has to move against the gravity, so they need more elaborate process for them to move up. So it is the force responsible for the upward movement of water is transpirational pull. Okay, and the water column is filled in. The xylem tracheids and vessels. So these are the some of the aspects by which the transportation of water and mineral, that is called sap, is carried out. So before we proceed further, second topic for that, there is one term that we already have used, but you should know it, called transpiration. Okay, so you should know the definition for this word transpiration. We do have read about this word lot of time, but still, so write it down. It is the loss of water in the form of vapors. Okay, in the form of vapors. Okay, from the aerial parts of the plant, from the aerial part or parts of the plant. So this transpiration as a definition, and we have read about this transpiration occurs through stomata and all these things. So it's a revisit that the last topic from textbook to get the more information about it. Now, as you know, the water mineral reaches the site in the form of sap, then the plant use them and make the food. Now that food again has to be transported throughout the plant body, and that transportation will be referred as translocation. Okay, so make sure the words are somewhat similar in stuff of listening, but they have a wide meaning of it. So now we will begin the topic called translocation. Now for translocation, the tissue involved, I have told you earlier, is phloem, and under these tissue called phloem, we have the various parts of them. So write down those names of phloem tissues or the cells of phloem tissues. The first one is sieve tubes. The second one is companion cells, we have already done last year. Then phloem parenchyma and phloem fibers. So sieve tubes, companion cells, phloem parenchyma and phloem fibers. So these are also referred as the elements of phloem, and these tissue now will play the role in the topic called translation. location. So the carbohydrates, so we write in short as carbohydrates, which are synthesized in the leaves, is then transported to the other part of the plant, okay, other part of the plant body, and in this the things move in all the direction, that is upward, downward or laterally. As you know, in that case of water movement is only in one direction. Here the component move in all direction, upward, downward and lateral directions. And the carbohydrates, I already told you, are translocated through the carbohydrates, which they are made in the green leaves, is transported through the sieve tubes. Sometime you could do we do ask you about how the carbohydrates move. So they are transported through sieve tubes. And the soluble carbohydrates enter the phloem element from, again write it down and underline them, from mesophyll. You might have heard this word in labeling of leaves, mesophyll cells of the leaf, okay, mesophyll cells of the leaf. So they enter from that. And the nutrients, these nutrients means the carbohydrate made by the cells in the chloroplast are transported in sieve tubes in, underline that word, diluted or dilute aqueous solution form, okay, dilute aqueous solution form. And the translocation of organic solutes is required by the plants, is necessary for them, because in order to carry various vital activities, vital functional activities, such as getting energy for maintaining the life process, okay, and getting energy for maintaining life processes. So this is a brief discussion and the description of the topic called transportation. So under two headings we have read about transpiration and translocation. The two terms we are using it quite differently. So I again let people know that please visit the 2 pages in your textbook, in particular the diagram which I have mentioned earlier. Copy it from your textbook from page 108 and 109, and after reading the respective theoretical part from the textbook and again view this presentation in order to understand them completely. And if still some doubt prevail or persist, won't hesitate to call me. Hope the things are clear to everybody. Have a nice day. Enjoy yourself. Okay, take care.